It's another great Saturday morning and we've got something really special to show you today. We're going to do the world's first full walkthrough of the boat behind me, which is a Selene 66 Classic Explorer. It's the flagship of Selene's Classic Explorer range, which are trawler style, true ocean going vessels, and I can't wait to take you on board this one. Let's jump on board now and take a look. So as we make our way on, Selene sell a lot of their boats for couples who want to go cruising, make long passages and go away and stay away. But this is a really interesting boat because, as you'll see later in the tour, there is an optional crew quarter. So we'll talk about what that arrangement can mean. And as we step in to the lazarette, a couple of things that you really want in a boat if you are taking it away and going to be away for a long time. You want access to those important service areas easily, and Selene have done that down in this area. If I spin around, you'll see an example of what I mean. Easy to get to. You'll note in the tour that there's a multitude of hatches throughout the boat for easy access into those important service areas. And as I'll show you in a moment, there's also some really thoughtful separation of different technical areas. I'll show you one of those in a moment. Another important consideration is the amount of cooling space that you've got. So apart from the full size fridge up in the galley, there's also additional cooling drawers here. These can be freezers or simple cooling drawers. The owner can make that choice. Let's go down and have a look at one of those areas that I described earlier, which is behind this door, and we see a really considerate separation of the boat's chargers and inverters. And you know, for an owner or whoever's operating the boat, it just makes getting at things convenient and accessible and easy. You can see you can easily walk in there like that. There's even space right at the end there. There's like a little bench there for you to pop some tools down or what have you. But again, it's all about making these boats practical when you're away for long periods of time. So let's back out of here. The engine room will come back to towards the end of the tour. But let me show you this room. It's set up at the moment for a crew, but this can be set up for a large utility room or another service technical area. So the choice is all on the owner. But if you do want to have the boat crewed some of the time or all of the time, of course, you need a place to put those people or that person. And that's what this cabin looks like. Pretty well appointed, to be fair. And if I just pull back a little bit, you'll see that there's a good sized hanging locker that looks like that. It's full of stuff at the moment. I won't open that. But there's also a writing desk and stool, which is pretty good. And right opposite that is the head that would be used by that person. And toilet there, basin, and a separate shower wand. So all in all, I think that's a pretty good crew cabin setup. One of the differences between the 49 Classic and the 66 is this large dining space here. A terrific spot to be, all under the protection of the hardtop. This is a very nice space to come, of course. There's forward passage down the port side, not down the starboard side. And the advantage of that, as you could well imagine, is it pays off in terms of a wider salon. As we step inside into the salon, you see that we've got a very, very well proportioned very nice, luxurious looking salon. The beam of the boat is about 17.5 feet or over 5 meters, and so not much of that is lost inside the salon with that single passage forward. And so what we've got is there's a television there which actuates up, and that's across from this large L-shaped lounging area and dining space. We've got this beautiful teak table. The finish inside here is teak, as you probably have already noted. And something I said at the start of the tour was the number of hatches that are dotted throughout the boat, and you'll spot them for yourself, but it does make every part of the boat's systems very easy to access. So that's obviously very important if you're heading off and staying off. So a lovely, wide and comfortable dining and lounging space, and connected well to the galley. There are two options for owners when it comes to the arrangement of the boat. One is to have the galley where it is now. Another is to move it up onto the raised pilot house, and I'll show you what that would look like, where we would be moving that wall forward, creating a more space for a galley up there, and this would be a lounging space. But as it is, it's a very, very nice galley. There is that large fridge freezer, that Liebherr fridge freezer there. There's a 4-burner electric cooktop, electric oven here, another one of those hatches, full-sized dishwasher, and a couple of little traps for rubbish and rubbish disposal in those corners. A feature of Selene yachts is the utilisation of space, and as we go along in the tour, you'll see for yourself just how many areas have been utilised for more storage. It's literally everywhere, and that is very, very useful if you're going away for long periods of time. So there's a couple of different access points down to the lower deck. This one on the port side is to the owner's cabin, which can be closed off, and then the other is here in the raised pilot house. We're going to have a good look at the boat's systems and navigation and what it's been equipped with. This is that area I mentioned, where if that wall was pushed back, you can have galley up here on the Flybridge. And if your intention was to crew the boat, you might like that separation of technical area, a galley, and you might prefer to have a larger socialising lounge dining space, which you would have. But as it is, what you do have is a very nice area to come and watch proceedings. There is a fold-down Pullman just there, as you can see, and this gives somebody a very good place to come and watch proceedings and be a part of the action. The helm in this raised pilot house is pretty impressive as well, starting with that beautiful wheel there. They always get my attention. A single helm chair like that, and then technically she's been fitted with 4 Fruno multifunction displays. One of those you can dedicate towards monitoring all of the boat's levels, fuel, holding tanks, etc. The second of those is a really clever piece of tech that sort of maps the bottom of the waterway that you're on. You can imagine why that would be particularly useful. And you can see over there we've got camera systems as well. And then we've also got the two engine controls there. It's fitted with two engines. We'll show you those soon. Stern and bow thrusters and other things that you would expect. But it's a commanding view out through that forward sloping windscreen out to that foredeck. And I think that's where we'll head. On my way out, actually, I'll just point out there are two little opening hatches there that let a bit of extra natural light in. We've opened one of those to show you. But if I duck out the starboard side and move around through this Portuguese bridge, we're greeted with this view. It is another one of the boat's kind of gathering places. There's a seat there where you can come and spend a few moments in the morning or evening. But really, I think the thing you're interested in looking at is this area here. We've got these two beautiful electric winched stainless steel chain anchors, and it's a little bit difficult to see. In fact, it's probably impossible to see, but the boat is fitted with a very powerful jet which, as you're lowering and raising the anchor, blasts any mud off those chains so they come up nice and clean. And that's a terrific, very thoughtful, very practical feature to add in to the boat. If I spin around, you can see there's that fantastic raised pilot house just there. Beautiful. Still two levels to show you. We'll duck back through the salon, or the pilot house rather, and we'll head up to the Flybridge before we move down to the lower deck. And here's what we find. So obviously a second helm position, this time with two helm chairs. So that's a nice thoughtful addition for somebody to come and take in the view while you're underway. And then behind there we've got seating for, I would say, 6 to 8 people. So you can come and enjoy a bit of lunch or breakfast or dinner out here at that table, which will fold out, all under the shade of the Flybridge hardtop. Or if you choose, you could come and enjoy a bit more sun out here. There's a large space here for some freestanding furniture, which we've got here. And obviously the boat's tender. And you can see here, this is quite a large Highfield tender. They're a fiberglass bottom boat with a 60 horsepower engine. These are like a little mini speedboat. These things really get along, have a heap of fun. So that can sit here. The boat's crane will obviously take care of that for you. Or if you wanted to put if you wanted to move that down onto that swim deck extension, then you can do that as well. On top of the roof there, where we can see all of the navigation and radar, etc., there is the addition of a large solar panel area which produce 2,400 watts of solar power. So extremely useful for obvious reasons when you're going away for long periods of time and I think it's fair to say that the owners have really spec'd the boat extremely well. It is all set and ready to go to make some really long passages to wherever you want to go. And talking of the owners, we'll spin downstairs into the lower deck and take a look at the owner's cabin. You'll notice again a lot of those traps in the floor to access different systems. It runs the full beam of the boat. I'll just move into a corner so you can really appreciate the cabin. Those very elongated port side windows are open, so there's a lot of natural air that will cross ventilate through the cabin, which is lovely. Bedside shelving with those very, very nice stainless fiddles. They're a real beautiful feature. Very classic, but quite a contemporary feeling cabin. There's a writing bureau and desk just in front of me here, like that. And then locker space here, over there, and just here as well. As with the rest of the boat, lots and lots of storage. Lots of storage. Ensuite head, very well appointed. Again, you can see those opening port side windows. And then through here, a shepherd's shower stall. Lovely. There's two other cabins, so in total there's three. Oh, before we move forward, there's washer and dryer facilities tucked away in here, like this, and like that. Again, all of those traps. And if we move all the way forward, we'll see the VIP cabin. Really, really nice arrangement in here. Two full-size hanging lockers on this side. Lots of storage like this. Those beautiful port side, starboard side windows, portholes that look fantastic. And there's an opening hatch above the bed, and that little section just there, if you press that, a little ladder will pop down, and that gives you access out of this cabin if you ever needed to, in an emergency, extract yourself quickly. You can do that. Storage like this. Beautiful ambient lighting. Very, very nice. And then ensuite head. Like this. Toilet. Separate shower stall. Very nice. The third of the guest cabins is set up as two twin singles, like this. I'm going to guess that you might be able to talk to the factory about adding a Pullman berth in there. That might be an option for owners. And again, you can see storage spread throughout this cabin, as well as this full-sized hanging locker. Really good size locker, in fact. Sometimes they might be a little small. This cabin and the VIP share the second of the boat's heads that we just looked through previously. So that door gives you access in to that. The last area to show you is the boat's engine room, and you might be wondering why we're making our way there through the owner's cabin. Well, it's very clever, because if you are operating the boat yourself, you can access it through, it's not quite through the back of the owner's cabin. There is this space here between the engine room hatch door and the owner's cabin, which reduces the sound significantly. Or you can come in through the lazarette next to the crew cabin. So that's quite clever. And you can see that's the door through to the crew cabin just there. And I'll just move forward and spin around so you can see this. This boat's only recently been delivered, and the engine room is immaculate, and a good amount of headroom too. I reckon about 6'2". I can stand up straight quite easily, which is very, very pleasing. Let's walk down, have a look at these engines. We'll put all of the specs up on screen for you. They're a pair of Cummins QS L9 diesels, and cruising speeds of 10 knots, probably a top speed of around 11 or 12 is what you could expect. And given the amount of fuel that the boat carries, range of 3,000 nautical miles, I think would be very reasonable to expect. Just to my right, you can see all the hydraulics of the boat just there. Even if I spin around, you can see we've got, there's the boat's genset. Oh, and a fresh water maker, pretty crucial for obvious reasons. And if I just back up here, here's another series of these floor traps that I mentioned are dotted all around the boat. Very, very practical, particularly in an engine room. That's fantastic. Over in this corner, you can see there's the fuel filtration. And just to the right, we've got a fuel polishing system. Particularly useful, if you're in ports where you might not be as confident with the quality of the fuel. A lot of diesel engine problems can be traced back to fuel contamination. So to have both filtration and polishing, that is very, very practical. You can see there the fire extinguishing system. Lots to show you. I probably can't get through all the detail. But overall, it's a very, very nice, well-arranged, very practical engine room to be in. I think we'll move back out of here, past the crew cabin, and we'll go back up into the main salon, and we'll wrap this up. So there you have it, our full walkthrough. It's first in the world, in fact, of a Selene 66 Classic. I hope you enjoyed it. Wherever you are in the world watching this morning, I know we've got viewers all over the world. And in fact, hello to everybody in Japan who tunes in and comments. Hope you've enjoyed the tour as well. Thanks to Selene Yachts Australia, Daryl and his team who've been very accommodating in getting us on this morning. It is an owner's boat, so we do appreciate the access. But I hope you enjoyed that one. Fantastic tour. I'll see you next week on another one. Bye for now.